How do you know for sure that a woman doesn't love you anymore? A sure sign that a woman has fallen out of love is a sharp shift in life priorities. She starts using a vocabulary that is uncharacteristic of her, phrases, terms, collocations, and philosophical ideas she never had before. You've been together for several years, and suddenly, out of the blue, the girl starts looking at life differently. In reality, she isn't looking at life differently. She's looking at you and the relationship differently. Her interest in new knowledge and meanings is driven by the fact that her life perspective is no longer tightly bound to you. That is, her GPS used to have one route, to be with you until old age. But now she needs to punch in a new route. Where should I go? What do I want? And here, anything can come to her aid. Psychologists, advice from girlfriends, esoteric books, delusional Instagram fantasies, and the desire to fall in love again. It turns out that if a wife lived one life for several years, we are together forever no matter what happens. Now she needs new meanings to cross out everything old. And for this, she needs new sources of information. This will take some time. Disgust is a clear sign that a woman has fallen out of love. Remember how it was in the beginning. Her attraction, her instinctive desire overrode everything else. The girl was ready for intimacy without a preliminary shower after work, right off the road, any way at all. If feelings are on the decline, the hints start. We've been sweating all day. You haven't been in the shower yet. Wash down there, shave this, and so on. I'm not suggesting being a slob. I am sharing the tiniest yet very important symptoms of declining female interest. Disgust is one of the earliest symptoms that the infatuation is passing. At this moment, it is necessary to clearly understand that her attraction to you is not a 10 out of 10, as it was before, but a maximum of about a 6. If nothing is done, the dynamic will likely be exclusively negative. An unobvious sign that a woman has fallen out of love is a situation where the relationship is sort of on a decline, but the girl starts taking care of herself more and more. She goes on a diet, joins a fitness club, starts visiting a cosmetologist, gets plastic surgery. To do all this with such persistence, she needs a stimulus. She must see a potential reward in front of her. Every time she overcomes something, she thinks, well, I'll endure this now, and then there will be. The question arises, what will there be? There are only two options here. First, she loves you dearly, is trying to please you, and score at least a few reputation points. But in that scenario, your relationship would be ideal. The second option, she is preparing herself to search for a new man. The idea of how great he might be can be a very strong motivator. Therefore, if who knows what is happening in the relationship, but the woman is improving herself, she is not doing it for you, and you will find out about it soon. A very clear symptom that a woman has fallen out of love is complaints about your sloppiness or bad habits. Before, when you slurped your tea loudly, it seemed cute to her. Now it ruins her appetite, the atmosphere, or some other feng shui. It might seem like the girl has run out of patience, that your petty flaws or habits have worn her out. But that's not true. It's about dopamine. When she is in love, minor triggers have no power. You are too valuable a source of pleasure for her to notice your flaws. She thinks, well, yeah, the guy has this downside. He slurps his tea. Well, that's fine. Otherwise, he'd be completely perfect. But as soon as feelings go into decline, even the smallest flaws begin to annoy her unbearably, because she has less dopamine, but you remain the same. The woman presents the situation like this. I've been watching this nonsense for 5 years, and I'm sick of it. The naive man thinks, well, on the whole, the wife has a point. I'll change for the better, and she will love me again. But this is not so. This would be an attempt to treat the symptom, not the disease. On the whole, what the wife says is merely symptomatology, not the cause of all the trouble. You fix one thing, something else will start to annoy her. If you want to understand that a woman has fallen out of love, pay attention to the dynamics of conflicts. With powerful infatuation, Conflicts, as a rule, do not happen. When feelings dull a bit, arguments sometimes occur, but you make up quickly. However, if feelings have disappeared completely, the girl is no longer in a hurry to make up. Men attribute this to some peculiarity of their woman, that she is strong-willed, that she has character. But of course, this is not the case. The desire to reconcile is triggered by oxytocin. This is a hormone associated with the need to be close to loved ones. When infatuation leaves, the flow of hormones decreases, and oxytocin falls too. That is why, at the beginning of a relationship, people don't fight. A little later, they fight but make up quickly, and at the very end, they can remain silent for hours and days. There is no more dopamine. The situation is already out of control. If you had a fight and the woman can simply go to sleep afterward, then your value isn't all that great. And if she can go without making up for several days, then you are almost an imposter. You are almost nobody to her. You can still make up, or rather, you can beg for forgiveness, but your place in this relationship will be on the doormat in the hallway. The most common sign that a woman has fallen out of love is grudges from the past that surface out of nowhere. The girl says, "You know, 2 years ago you offended me so badly that I still can't forget it." The guy doesn't understand. Even 2 years ago, the woman didn't say anything about it. Everything was generally fine. But explaining such behavior is very simple. When feelings are on the decline, she develops an internal contradiction. The woman automatically starts treating you worse, values you less, and already doubts if she wants to be with you. But can you leave a good person without a clear reason? No, you can't. Therefore, the female brain begins to look for a comfortable explanation for this. Admitting that you didn't do anything wrong is just not profitable. She doesn't want to see problems in herself. With a characteristic sound, the woman uncorks her reserve anger. This helps to drown out the internal debate and do what she wants, not what she needs to. I hope you understand. It won't be possible to convince or calm the woman down anymore. It is profitable for her to fuel resentment inside herself, and totally unprofitable to be guilty before you. A precise marker that a woman has fallen out of love is an obsessive demand to buy something or go somewhere. When a woman is in love, material joy fades into the background for her because the source of her dopamine is the man. That is, she feels good just being near you. But when the level of dopamine in the relationship drops, the woman unconsciously starts getting angry at her husband for this. It seems to her that you should compensate for the deficit of pleasant emotions. There are many compensation options: a vacation, a car, you haven't given flowers in a long time, and so on. There is one common thing here. It is an attempt to buy dopamine. Wealthy men might say, "So I'll buy it. What's the problem? As long as the wife is happy." The woman, of course, will be happy with the gift, but alas, the problem cannot be solved this way. After all, infatuation saturates her continuously, while purchases, only temporarily. It turns out that she is with you only temporarily too. Money is the wrong fuel for relationships. Dopamine bought with money is finite and therefore ineffective. There is a very simple way to understand that a woman doesn't love you anymore. When a girl is in love, she runs every desire and action through a relationship utility filter. If I do this, will it be good for our relationship or not really? At the same time, a person voluntarily imposes certain restrictions on themselves, what is allowed and what is clearly not allowed. So, when there are no more feelings, the reverse process begins, a process of degradation. Some personal boundaries appear. She wants more freedom, personal space. A woman can commit acts harmful to the relationship and at the same time prove that she has every right to do so. In essence, you don't have a relationship anymore. You just don't realize it yet. This is the behavior of an employee who used to grind from 9 to 6, but now can come in whenever he wants, leave whenever he feels like it, put his feet on the desk, and mouth off to the boss. And do you know why he behaves like this? Because he knows for sure that he won't be working here anymore. The decision has been made, but the employee hasn't found a new place yet, and that's why he's engaging in this nonsense. An ironclad sign that a woman has fallen out of love is the moment when she first ignores your attempt to make up with her. You had a fight, bickered a bit, you try to somehow smooth over the situation, but she keeps you at a distance or deliberately replies with a delay. Note that you are in a state where you can't eat, sleep, or work. You can't think about anything pleasant, about anything else, because the relationship is under threat. You are worried about your joint future, but she isn't anymore. You might not believe in her indifference and convince yourself that she actually loves you, she's just extremely offended. But here's the catch. The ability to be deeply offended has a direct correlation with the intensity of feelings. Before, she couldn't afford to stay offended for long and would even jokingly make up herself. Oh, come on, I can't stay mad at you for long because I love you so much, and we need to be together. Well, that's how it was. But now everything is fundamentally different. You are already worrying about the relationship more than she is. Remember, if you take a step forward and she takes a step back, this is the breaking point in the relationship. Forget about how sweet, sensitive, and attentive she was. There is a different person with you now. A reliable sign that a woman has fallen out of love is comparison with another man. And it doesn't really matter if the wife tells you this directly, but my ex, or my friend's husband, or hints at it from afar. Usually other men don't behave like this. What is the essence? Such phrases, such thoughts arise when she has already been eyeing someone else more than once. She managed to compare you, and it seemed to her that it might be better with another. The woman felt that she could lay claim to something more, and she is angry that you just don't understand this. Example: an employer pays a woman $1,000, and for a long time she was happy and grateful. But as soon as she saw an ad that there are vacancies for $3,000, her assessment of the situation changed. Before, she went to work with joy, but now she tries to look at you with a guilt-tripping gaze. Before, she tried to please, but now she's doing a favor by even showing up here. And then the bargaining will begin. I want a vacation, I want free lunches, I want to leave work early all the time, I want this, I want that. But even if you fulfill all the conditions, it still won't save the relationship. A very simple sign that a woman has fallen out of love is a lack of initiative regarding intimacy. Intimacy sort of exists, but it's so forced, you know. Excuses start happening a little more often. Better tomorrow. Let's not do it today. In fact, it is very easy to check this. Just stop taking the initiative. You go to bed, and you say, okay, good night. That is, you pretend that it's not really needed, and things are fine as they are. And then watch when the woman takes the initiative. If 14 days have passed and nothing, then she absolutely does not want you anymore. A 100% sign that a woman has fallen out of love is sudden closeness and distancing. Simply put, the roller coaster. One moment everything is good in the relationship, the next everything is simply terrible. Erratic behavior is essentially a powerful temptation that the person is succumbing to. As a rule, this is connected with an attraction to another man. Her conscience is not at ease. In this minute, the woman tries to sort of negotiate with it. I want another, but that's wrong. We've been together for 10 years. Sadness appears, anger that you are nearby. She went and snapped at you. Then she thinks, well, of course, it's wrong to act like this. She went and got close. Then the temptation rises again, and she already starts looking for some minuses in the relationship to justify her departure. You can block temptation only at the start, but a little later, you can't. Understand, she is not fighting temptation in this minute, but rather flirting with it and thinking about how to comfortably kill the relationship. Conclusion: roller coasters in relationships are an attempt to drown out the voice of conscience, and that will take some time. The main sign that a woman has fallen out of love is verbally admitting the possibility of a breakup. How does it usually happen? Most often, in the heat of an argument, the girl said a lot of unpleasant things and also mentioned the possibility of splitting up. The first time, the second, and most likely the third time you will make up with her, of course. Your loved one will say that she said all this in the heat of the moment, that she doesn't actually think so, and all that. Be sure, she regularly thinks about this, contemplates it. Sharp conflicts help a woman blow off steam, because with a low level of interest you annoy her, and then, for a while, the concentration of negativity decreases. You think, well, yeah, we fought, but at least we made up, and now everything is fine. But of course, this is a temporary improvement because the conditions in the relationship haven't changed. Each time, the negativity will accumulate exclusively more, and the conflicts will become more and more destructive. One of the hidden signs that a woman has fallen out of love is a situation where she starts sharing information about malfunctions and difficulties in your relationship with her. She might tell her parents, girlfriends, or someone else about it. Pay attention. During similar events at the beginning of the relationship, she was in no hurry to share this with anyone. And why is that? It was important to her what people around would think of you because she planned to be with you. The woman was thereby protecting your relationship. But now that is gone. When she tells a one-sided story about her being right, any listener will not just support her, but might even say, "Leave him." And what? Doesn't she understand this? She understands. The listener acts as a signal repeater. She sends a negative signal, it gets amplified and comes back. Thereby, the girl prepares herself for the breakup. Yes, she probably does it unconsciously. A cunning plan. But the result of these actions is known in advance. And a few more hidden signs that a woman has fallen out of love. Less humor, fewer jokes, complaints about depression, a desire to see a psychologist and figure herself out, a lack of bright plans for the future, a complete absence of jealousy. She has more positivity at work, at school, with friends, somewhere else, but no longer with you. A desire to go on a business trip, to a friend's, to some festival, a sudden unjustified overnight stay outside the home, situations where instead of time with you, she prefers to sleep, work, do something for personal comfort on a regular basis. And finally, a very important symptom, that vile feeling of things being left unsaid, like a prolonged pause in a conversation. You feel that something should happen next, but everyone is silent. You feel something important is happening, but no one is in a hurry to fill you in, because you, generally speaking, are no longer in the loop. If you discovered one or two signals from the list in your situation, you can ignore it for now. But if in your case more than half of the symptoms have piled up, then this is no accident. Realizing the truth is the first step to recovery, however painful it may be. Do not try to earn love back or fix the individual symptoms we talked about. It's the same as watering a withered tree in the hope that it will blossom. If the mechanism of breaking up has already been launched in her head, the best thing you can do is preserve the remnants of your self-respect and stop being a convenient resource while she looks for a backup landing strip. Accept the facts, take off the rose-colored glasses, and start preparing for a life where your happiness and self-esteem no longer depend on a person who has already mentally said goodbye to you.